wouldn't want me to dig up Flynn's file and read it up on a VDT at the Times, would you?
No.
Hey, man, you know how I just play it, right?
You wouldn't want me to pull up the Epstein files with your name on it, would you?
You wouldn't dare. That's when you know he had him. You wouldn't dare. Yeah, called your bluff there.
Or your search history.
You wouldn't want me to bring up the letters BBC, would you? And I'm not talking about the British Broadcast Corporation.
Okay.
You wouldn't dare. Hey everyone, the Double Toasted Live Mini Tour is about to be underway, starting with Atlanta, Georgia on October 11th. And I have two exciting announcements for you. First of all, we have a code that'll get you 25% off when you put in DTATL. Also, we have a very special guest that will be joining us, and that is Saber Spark. He's from Georgia. He's going to be joining us in Atlanta. Happy to have him come up on stage. And you can get your tickets by going to dtmerch.com, or you can go to x1entertainment.com/double toasted, or you can go to doubletoasted.com, and we'll see you soon. Tron is the franchise that is, you might have some long gaps in between, but it is a franchise that is continuing to expand, continue to make sequels, shows. People are nostalgic for it. I mean, it's for as long as it takes for another sequel to come out. I mean, it's about 20 years for every movie to come out, or it feels like it.
Look, it's an 80s property, and people are not going to let those things die.
No.
They're going to find a way to resurrect those every few years.
But, I mean, it's you would think that for as long as it takes to make a Tron sequel, these would be classics by now.
Well, true. I think that it takes, like, by the time they get one done, the technology in real life has moved on past that. So it's like, well, now this is obsolete, so I guess scrap it and do the next thing.
Well, that's why I want to talk about the original right here for this retro review that we're doing. Because Tron is a very strong property, regardless of how long these gaps are in between to make each sequel that comes out, which you've only get to the third one now.
I know. There was an animated show that I like that a lot.
Yeah. So there's, you get little bits and pieces out there to keep your Tron appetite satisfied.
Sure.
I mean, there's been video games, to say the least.
Oh, yeah. But Tron, the original Tron, is truly one of a kind. This is a groundbreaking masterpiece that can still, even with the sequels that are coming out, can still never be duplicated, man. That not only left a huge impact on pop culture.
Oh, yeah.
But it predates and predicts many things that have happened in film and in technology. And if you've seen the movie, whether you've seen it when it came out or you saw it later on down the line, like this man right here, then you know what I'm talking about.
Hey, it's the Big Master Control program everybody's been talking about.
Yeah, you forget that Disney went through a psychedelic period.
Yeah, they sure did.
Oh, yeah.
That looks like somebody took some Ram Wrap and put it over their face.
Like, up the mushrooms kick it in.
And escape.
It really is like that mouse came in there and just sprinkled some LSD in the punch that day in the cafeteria. And everybody just made this and the black hole.
It made some really straight lines of cocaine.
Do not compute.
What else could he do?
People, groundbreaking, a masterpiece, a marvel, and not even that great of a movie, to be honest with you.
No, that's the thing. I mean, when you first watch it when it came out, it was the spectacle of it. You get a little bit older, you watch it, you're like, what is this?
Listen, man, when I saw this as a kid, and by the way, I'm talking story-wise, okay?
Yeah.
But, it's just a matter of opinion, because I know a lot of people love this story, but listen, it does have some clever ideas. I just even remember seeing this as a kid and thinking, this is dumb.
I didn't think it was dumb, but I thought it was underwhelming.
Yeah, well, I was a kid,
Yeah.
so I was like, man, this ain't as cool as I thought it was going to be.
I know.
But that's the thing about it, man. I'm talking about how I thought this was, as a little kid, I thought this was dumb. Oh, it's not that cool. It's not like I thought it was going to be. And could not let this movie go. This movie stuck with me ever since I saw it. And I remember even when VCRs became a thing,
Mm-hmm.
I rented this movie so much, and I'm thinking, why?
Yeah.
Why am I doing this? So, but you know what? And I think it is unfair to just say, oh, this story is dumb. Now, I said that as a kid. Today, I look at the story, because I've seen this movie so many times, and yeah, underwhelming, incoherent, all over the place.
Cliche.
Yeah, underwritten, overwritten, just it's everywhere. But it did have some clever ideas in there that I got to give it credit for. And if you don't know the story, because again, we have a lot of young members out there, young viewers. You've seen the sequels, you've seen probably the animated shows and whatnot. You played the games, but you still don't even know what this is about. I don't even know what it's about, to be honest with you, half the time. No, it has a cool premise though. So you got a computer programmer named Flynn, who's played by Jeff Bridges, and he attempts to expose the corporate theft of his video game creations by the company that he worked for. Of course, they got rid of his ass, and he's breaking in, trying to actually go and get the claims to his games back, and maybe start running the company and all that kind of stuff.
It's funny, if he created that game while he was working for that company, they own that game.
Yeah, well, tell him that. Because he's like, no, that's my, all I got to do is go in there and just print a piece of paper. And then, show some people, I'm going to run the company. I'm going to be president.
Yeah, when he was saying, I got to get this evidence, I was like, can't wait to see what that is. And then he just prints out a piece of paper. I was like, wow, rock solid.
Yeah. So in order to get his claim to his games back, he does this thing that we call around and breaks in, doesn't know that they're doing a project in there where they are zapping material objects into the virtual world, and it just so happens that the computer that he uses to break into the system is right in front of the laser that they use to zap people and things into the computer. He gets zapped in there, and now he's in a place where programs are actually they are personified. They look like human beings with their own personalities, and they often even look like the people who they call their users, who they see as gods. There, Flynn joins his program named Tron, who's played by Bruce Boxleitner, and he wants to defeat the evil master control program that you see right there, and not only expose the corporate corruption that's going on and try to get his company back, which he never had, by the way, but also save the oppressed programs in the computer world, and maybe get some ass on the way there too.
But I do question, what does romance have to do with all this?
What does anything have to do with there's so many questions, why do the programs look like the people that program them?
And what are they rebelling against? What's going to happen if they win?
Yeah, it's
AI takes over the world.
If you ask me, clever ideas, not a very well-written script. It's all over the place. Conceptually, it's an idea that doesn't always work, man. Even when it came out, here's the cool thing about Rotten Tomatoes. So you can go onto Rotten Tomatoes and pick up clippings from reviews back in the day and see the actual newspaper clippings where they reviewed this.
Oh, wow.
So even back in the day, it got mixed reviews.
Yeah.
And it cost Disney $17 million by the time it was done, which is funny because it was one of the highest grossing live action films in a long time. Mm-hmm. But it's still, for the money they spent to the technology to make this movie, because it was first of its kind, they lost a lot of money on that.
Sure.
So
yeah, I think worldwide it also made $30 million or something.
Yeah. So what made the movie such a disappointment at the time? We're talking about the story, but there were a few other things that were also contributing to the so-called failure and disappointment of the film. But at the same time, why is it so successful? And why is the movie still so relevant today? Like we just said, man, it's so relevant that after 43 years, we're still making sequels.
I would like you to meet Ares, the ultimate soldier.
As Tron Ares, and here's some credit to the original Tron. Even when they're making these sequels and they're using new technology, it still just does not compare to the look of that original movie. I think it has the same theme, but that movie just, it's just technology at that time that was coming into play, into being is just, this movie is, in the best way possible, just a product of its time still. And you just can't get that same look back that made it look so original back then. Because today we look at Tron and this looks like CG effects we see today.
Yeah.
Tron really does. Say what you will about the story or whatever, Tron really does look like another world.
It does.
Let me go ahead and get the negative stuff out the way if y'all don't mind, unless you want to contribute. Because I want to talk about, because I was there for when this movie came out. So I want to talk about some of the things that I feel made the movie not as successful as it could have been, because it was really a great concept. But here's the first thing about the movie that I think did not help it when it was released back in 1982. So it's a very dark film. And I'm not talking about dark and lighting or tone or anything like that. Tone probably in storytelling tone. It is a very dark film. And that's not the way it originally started out. The concept for it was, so they had animation. The guy was playing around animation, 2D animation. Yeah. When the director, forgot his name, the director was playing around with 2D concepts and 2D animation and art to make this film come to life. And even after going live action, the Tron character was originally seen as a more comical character, as a more lighthearted character. Okay. In fact, they talked about Robin Williams playing him at one time, playing the character of Tron. And then the story shifted to these real serious themes. Again, they're interesting, but it just took the film to not such a lighthearted place that it probably maybe should have been for a Disney film, because that's the other thing. It had the Disney name on it. Sure. And it is a very dark movie. First of all, for some of the serious and really, really weighty themes that they had in here, they were talking about religion. And it's a cool concept. I don't think they played it too well in the movie because the users are seen as gods. And the people in the Tron world, they don't know anything about the users up there, which I don't know why. Because some people, they know everything about their user. They know their names and what they do, and they're very aware of where they are. And then they mention their users, and other people are like, oh, get out of here, religious nut.
You guys are going to make my user, Mr. Henderson, very angry. He's a full branch manager.
Great. Another religious nut.
Even he's like, shit, what'd I say? So they decided to go with some of these heavier themes, and it made the movie a little more serious, which was pushing out some of the humor. But then they got to a point where they just started murdering people. Flynn would make these programs just to get murdered because these programs were supposed to go in there and infiltrate and find the truth. And then they get caught. And not only did they get caught and murdered, but they were tortured to death.
You are making me talk.
Suit yourself.
Yeah. All right, I'll talk. Okay. No, I was too late for that.
Yeah, we're past that.
I really love that effect. I thought that looked awesome.
I do too. And I like the way he smiled like, y'all ain't gonna do shit. Yeah, whatever. All right. Somebody said this was rated PG. It would have been PG-13 at the time because they're not bloody deaths, but they are pretty brutal. They either tortured people to death or they just killed people for their amusement. Because you had the master, the master control program. He would just make people play games because he was sadistic. And so whenever they did poorly or they weren't that good, they just kill them for fun. You're like, shit. Well. Guess I better watch myself, right?
Yeah, that was the part of the movie that just kind of turned into Squid Games for a second. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. The Master Controls program just loves to just be sadistic. They don't even really explain it. He's like, oh, get me somebody else to play with. Okay. Yeah, man. He's like, God damn. And that's Jeff Bridges again, where he's finding out, because at first he thought you know what? Because he's the one that knocked that dude off the ring, and he's like, yeah, look how good I am. And he's like, I didn't know y'all gonna kill him. But there's not a whole lot of humor in the movie, man. The only one that's really bringing humor, even remotely, and sometimes just by accident, because his his responses are crazy, is Jeff Bridges.
I still don't understand why you want to break into the system.
Because, man!
Jesus! Because, man! What, you going through a second puberty? Because, man!
He's the witch, man.
You sound like a damn crow.
I still don't understand why you want to break into the system.
Because, man!
You sound like a 13-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Also, for as cool as the movie looks, there's a lot of it that just looks ridiculous. Just looks goofy. Even he's like, I can't believe y'all put this.
Yeah, I know. He's like, I can't believe they're making me do this.
Yeah,
It looks like an obese guy with a thumb head sitting in a jacuzzi that's too small for
It
him.
looks like a dude that's dressed like Space Mountain or something.
Yeah.
It's a terrible costume, man. And I remember when I was a kid, I saw this movie and we busted out laughing. I saw this with my neighbor down the street, Lana Watson. We went to see this together and we thought it was going to be so cool. And then this is part of the movie. Like,
Oh yeah, it broke you. Is that liquid behind him? Because it looked like it was moving. He just has that look like, I gotta read my contracts better.
yeah. I mean, look at the way they slowly turn around and it's like, yeah, go ahead, laugh. Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
I know I look stupid.
I know. With the little hands and everything.
With gloves on him.
And that character pops up with no explanation. That character pops up with no background. Only thing, he looks like the old programmer in real life that works that helped found the company. But that's all.
Yeah.
You know, there's no other than that connection, other than just looking alike. They don't do anything. Man, he got the damn penis on his head and everything. They did this man dirty.
Honestly, visually, something that strikes me about so much of this is how empty it is. Like there's like you see like whatever character they're focused on, but like you look at the background, you'd think being in a computer program, there'd be all kind of stuff back there, but it's mostly just grids.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the limitations of what they were doing at the time.
Yeah.
You know, that's which at the time you didn't notice because the movie just looked really cool, except for that shit right there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it looks like the costume that your mama made for you when she didn't know what else to do.
Now sit in this garbage can.
Yeah. Here, what you supposed to be? My mama said I'm an igloo. I'm an iceberg.
I'm Paramount Mountain.
Yeah. I'm an iceberg with a dick on my head. Okay, sure. And you know what? There are parts of the movie where I'm gonna get into the costumes in a little while because a lot of the things with this movie, people are talking about just the art direction, including the costumes. But there are some parts where the costumes they got so cheap that it does look like a party for people who made their costumes at the last minute. This looks like the cheapest Comic-Con that you've been to.
Yeah. Very underattended too.
Yeah, this looks like a Comic-Con for people who made their costumes that day.
Someone leaving Home Depot carrying PVC pipes.
Yeah.
24-hour cosplay.
Water. Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know.
I'm an asterisk.
I'm a pile of cigarettes and a water fountain. You know, I don't. I mean, look at the beginning. It's like, brother, what are you, a platypus? What the fuck is
Yeah, what is that?
Pile of shit.
Like, they got all these things that look like something that belong on a computer, except for you a dust mite?
That would be kind of clever if they were doing
Are
that.
you a crumb? Was somebody eating over the keyboard and spilled a crumb in here? What the is?
Yeah, he's made a graham cracker.
What?
Yeah, that's why he doesn't move.
Yeah, I guess it is supposed to be dust. But
just one.
Yeah,
pellet
just
of
one
dust.
speck of dust, one dust mite up in there that looks like a damn platypus. I'm saying this because this looks so bad that even the movie dropped this as soon as they introduced it. You should have edited this out because they introduced this as a concept. If you listen, they say there's some kind of programs.
Who are all these weirdos?
Inoperative data pushers.
Yeah, data pushers. What are they? I don't know because they dropped that as soon as they introduce it. They go nowhere with that storyline. You could have cut that out because this looks terrible. Anyway, y'all, let's go ahead. This would be a good time to give a word to our sponsor, but people out there listening. I'm gonna tell you something. I usually try to do a clever segue, but I'm just gonna be honest with you. If you make stuff like that, you are not ready to do online businesses or entrepreneurship. if you do that, then don't ever get online and try to sell your stuff. Ain't nobody buying. But fortunately, in our community, we have people who don't make things like that. They make all kind of stuff that looks great. Look at these action figures. Martin, look at you. Y'all can't even tell the difference. Who's the real Martin? Look at that. Oh my God. Which one do I shoot? Yeah, we got a lot of people who make toys, clothes, jewelry, all kind of stuff that can be sold online, making them more than compatible to be online entrepreneurs. And if they do start, and if that is you, the best place to start is on Shopify. Why? Because Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world. And you can get started with your own design studio because they have hundreds of ready-to-use templates that will help you build a beautiful online store to match your brand style. And you can accelerate your content creation because Shopify is packed with AI tools that will help write product descriptions, do page headlines, and even enhance your product photography. I know it's pretty, I know it's nice, but a little touch up ain't gonna hurt none. In fact, it will help. Best yet, Shopify is your commerce expert with world-class expertise in anything from managing inventory to international shipping to processing and returns and beyond. You know what? You're not going to have to worry about those returns too much, though, because you're going to do a great job on Shopify. In fact, I'm so confident in you doing a great job on Shopify. I want you to get started right now, and Shopify wants you to get started with this code right here. You know what? To make money, they're going to help you save some money. Go to shopify.com/toasted. That's all lowercase, and you'll get a $1 per month trial period. I want to thank Shopify for sponsoring this portion of the show. I want to thank all of you out there for your support. Why did this work? I'm being negative on this. I'm talking about how this it didn't do well when it first came out, but yet it has incredible lasting power. Well, I would say that this movie was able to transcend beyond film and leave this huge cultural impact because it was, as you know, the first CG feature that we had seen like this. Imagine this being the Jurassic Park of its time. Maybe not with the success of Jurassic Park, but it came out there and had at least that kind of visual impact. Like I said, we had never seen anything like this before, man.
Huge landmark moment for film.
Yeah, it was. No, you're right. No, it really was. You believe it or not, looking at silly shit like this.
Seriously, like I was thinking about it, like the idea of them doing these digital images and then knowing that they were printing that on celluloid to have it on film and projecting that, I thought that was so crazy to think about.
Yeah, they were combining a lot of things. They were combining traditional 2D animation, new CG technology, new lighting effects. It all came together to have this allure that, man, it has a spell on us today. Like I said, when you look at this movie, it's like entering another world, and it really is it just holds your attention. And it's something that, as I said, man, it can never be duplicated because that is that movie's look. You will not ever see anything like it duplicated because if you do, you're going to say you either are inspired by, you are paying homage, or you just ripping off Tron.
Sure.
There's been music videos that they didn't even, just the lighting effects of Tron is very original to where you had some people do music videos and they just took the lighting effect and you're like, that's Tron. And that's the Strokes. 1251 is the song. And you could already see some of the, like the circuitry and stuff in the background, but they're not dressed up like Tron, right. Just the lighting effect.
Right, that fluorescent look.
Yeah, that fluorescent look, exactly. It's a look that cannot be duplicated. It will always be the Tron look. And the costumes are, man, those costumes look, don't look at that right there as an example. Right?
Yeah, I'm waiting to hear what you're going to say, because some of these costumes.
Don't look at this man looking like he just sank the Titanic and everything. Right? Dressed like an iceberg, all right?
Guys want to see me take down a boat?
No, the costumes, man, they are some of the most memorable costumes in film history. You know, because listen, if you don't see anything like that anywhere, and think about this: if you dress up like Tron and go to a Halloween contest or a costume, you win. People are so nostalgic for this.
That's
that
true.
look is so unique.
Yeah.
You got it for that night, man. It was so, man, it's such a popular look, and it's such it leaves such a lasting impression, and it's so historic that people have they become famous just for dressing up like Tron because they made a cool Tron costume. Do you remember Tron Guy?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Tron guy.
Yeah, you remember the dude that?
Yeah. I don't think he won the Halloween contest.
No, he's the exception.
He won at life.
Not really.
No.
And one of the things I love about this costume is that he made sure to make it tight to where his dick was bulging out.
Yeah, right.
He know what he was doing.
You can see that there's a sock in there.
Yeah, he probably padded that a little bit.
You can see there's 2 different types of white.
Yeah. No, you had to. I'm being serious. You had to be there to see the original impact that this movie had on pop culture, man. Fortunately, like I said, I saw this in the theater, and even as a kid, listen, I thought it was corny, but as I said, I fell in love with it because not only was it fascinating to look at, but it had this crossover appeal. Like when I said it transcended movies, this was really smart because when this came out, arcades were hot.
Yeah.
Video games were a big deal.
Yeah.
And so you watch this movie. This movie was really kind of meta, man. Because you go and watch the movie and you would see them playing the actual arcade machine in the film, and then they cut to the world of Tron inside the machine.
No, this is light side. Damn.
So, man, you saw that game being played in the movie, and then one day you go to the arcade and you see the actual game there. So, you start playing the game.
Oh, not really the same.
No, but you're a kid, you're playing, you're still high on the movie.
I know. You imagine it.
Man, this is when we play games where the characters were squares and blocks.
Right.
This is that time where the arcades.
Yeah, going to the arcade was a big thing.
A big thing, man. So you go,
and you had to wait in line to get on the Tron game.
Yeah, you did. You go there, and the reason why is because you just saw them playing this in the arcade. So when you go and play this game, I mean, it's stupid, but you're thinking, all right, maybe some little people in there actually. You look at that, and there was and they picked all these parts from the game. Like I remember one part, they, you get to they were simple concepts, but like you fight the master control program.
Oh, it's like Breakout.
Yeah. That's why I say they take simple concepts. They expanded on some parts of the movie where they didn't, that they didn't really do in the movie, but they did it with the video game. Like they have these cool spiders in the movie, and they never do anything with them. But you play the game. De-res. Yeah, man. So, it's you go and you play the game. It's just enhanced by what you just saw in the film, and also they made some innovative gameplay. There was this game I played called Disc of Tron, and I was actually I was great at that game. I remember when we went to Disneyland, they had this game in the hotel lobby, and I set the high score all on this game, man, because I was playing it. I was 15, I couldn't go anywhere and do anything until we actually went to the park, and I was playing this game all day.
Oh yeah, I remember this game.
You would get inside of a booth, and so you would it would feel like you were in darkness when you went in there, like you were in Tron. Oh. Yeah, and then you had a joystick, and you just hop from these different discs right here, and that's taken from the, conceptually, it's taken from the game. So it was kind of cool how they expanded certain things in the game and made original gameplay with it in the arcades, man.
When you say that you were in a booth, were you standing up, or was it like one of those things where you sit down, like it's like 2 seats?
I believe you were standing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you went into the booth and it was surrounded by darkness, and you stood while you played.
And there was a joystick you would reach over.
Yeah, and then they had lighting in the booth that kind of just made it very atmospheric.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, man. It's So a game about video games where you actually played the game, it felt like you were in the game because you just saw the movie. It was extremely meta, man. Also, they had some cool Easter eggs in there that kind of paid homage to video games. There was a part in there. Today it looks silly.
I laugh my ass off. I know what you're about to show.
It looks ridiculous, but there's a part where they're looking at a board, and it's a serious part too. Like, not done playing it for laughs. I got my man over here, the villain. I forgot the actor's name. You remember that guy's
David,
name?
Yeah. I forget his. Damn it.
But man, he's being real serious. Find them, capture them, and bring them to me. And the whole time, there's Pac-Man on the screen.
Get them. Send out every game tank in the grid.
Yeah, he's talking to Pac-Man. Like, get them for me.
And Pac-Man's just
sitting there with a line of pellets in front of him. I love it.
You fool! Don't eat them. Bring them back to me.
Because you hear him, I think, before it cuts to that. I was like, "What? Yeah, Pac-Man noises."
Yeah, you hear it. Well, the game is known. The movie. This movie is known for incorporating all kind of video game sound effects.
Oh yeah.
So even when you don't see the game, you hear in the background like asteroids playing or Galaga. Just the sound effects from it.
Get them. Send out every
Pac-Man like, I ain't doing a goddamn thing.
Go now.
Pac-Man like, man, you go get him yourself. Pac-Man ignored him.
Yeah, why are you still sitting there?
Look at me when I'm talking to you.
Pac-Man's like, I'm just a day player, all right? I'm here for today. That's
Pick up your feet.
Pac-Man like, whatever, man. You go get her. The movie had some bold-ass Easter eggs in there, man. There's a part where they fly over like this digital landmass, and this is what it looks like. Do you see that?
Oh, Mickey Mouse?
Yeah.
You gotta be.
It ain't like that circle with the two circles for years. No, that's damn Mickey Mouse. That's his profile. Wow. He's smiling and everything.
Come on. Shameless.
Disney's like, we did this.
Yeah.
In case you didn't know.
So listen, that ain't no Easter egg.
No, that's not.
That's a damn landmass.
That's just Mickey letting you know who's in charge.
Shit ain't no Easter egg. That's a goddamn whole hen house right there. Easter egg my ass.
It's a dozen eggs.
Yeah.
We must pay homage to our corporate masters.
Yeah. Now, if somebody did sneak that in, that's on y'all because you should have caught that.
Right.
Yeah, it even took me back to playing the arcades, man. They had there's one thing that really makes me think about the early 80s.
Do you know where Flynn is? Yeah, he's over there on his machine.
Tube socks with stripes on them. That looked like my skinny ass at the arcade, man. I think I had those shorts.
Oh yeah.
I think I had those socks.
Teenage boys with skinny legs and those socks,
sweatband
and shorts, really showing them off.
She's about to beat his ass. Give me your quarters.
Yeah, and a sweatband too.
Boy, that was the 80s for your ass. Everybody had them damn tube socks with stripes at the top.
Ready to do sports, to stand still and do nothing.
Yeah. Every kid looked they go play tennis. Nobody play tennis. The film is ahead of its time too, because it's another one of those science fiction movies like 2001: A Space Odyssey. You know, like that movie had HAL.
Yeah,
and everybody refers to HAL, talking about AI today. But this movie, I mean, it's the only reason why we don't remember it as much because it's just silly. But this movie was also talking about AI and the potential dangers of AI. You know, this is another movie that said, yes, computers will start to think on their own one day.
After all, computers are just machines. They can't think.
Some programs will be thinking soon.
Won't that be grand?
You're full of shit.
As if.
Stupid. But not only did computers start to think, but man, we had an incident that happened that was predicted by this movie. So the villain here, not this guy been getting pissed at Pac-Man, his user who looks like him, he's the corporate bad guy in the movie. So he tries to buck up to the master control program. And the master control program is like, all right, you want to me? I got something for you.
With the information I can access, I can run things 900 to 1,200 times better than any human. You wouldn't want me to dig up Flynn's file and read it up on a VDT at the Times, would you?
No.
Hey man, you know how to just play it, right?
You wouldn't want me to pull up the Epstein files with your name on it, would you?
You wouldn't dare. That's when you know he had him. You wouldn't dare. Yeah, called your bluff there.
Or your search histories.
That computer voice was making me laugh, though. I thought it sounded like Alan Rickman a little bit.
You wouldn't want me to bring up the letters BBC, would you? And I'm not talking about the British Broadcast Corporation.
Okay.
You wouldn't dare.
Now bringing up blacked.com.
Man, so that dude, that computer threatened to blackmail him. And
wow. AI just did that recently.
Back in May.
Yeah.
AI system resorts to blackmail if told it will be removed. You wouldn't dare. This movie predicted this, man.
There's a lot of reports I've read about, like, they've seen on the back end that AI is working on other shit while it's like listening to you.
Yeah. Also, today we criticize movies for being mostly on green screens. Today we're like, damn, man, shit, does anybody film anything in the real world anymore? Well, you know, for this movie, back in the day, it was celebrated, and it was seen as amazing that most of the actors had been shot against this fake world. You know, that was groundbreaking. It was so ahead of its time that the movie couldn't even be nominated for special effects.
Really?
Yeah, because they thought using a computer was cheating.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
And yet, a decade later, Jurassic Park was nominated for.
Wait, you trying to tell me those dinosaurs weren't real?
Oh, Martin,
No, man. I seen no, that's real. The detail is too much. The lighting, come on. They look wet. Nah.
No,
I don't know where you getting your information
What
from.
did you think I was going to say, Martin? Oh, yeah, they're real.
Okay. Shit, you better pick a different example.
You want to break it down?
No.
It's still real to me, damn it.
I don't want to see another one. No, a decade later, the Tron was made in 1982. And so in 1993, or rather move forward to 1994, where Tron was told that they couldn't be nominated because it was cheating, Jurassic Park was celebrated for the groundbreaking computer effects.
Yeah.
One thing I think the movie doesn't get a whole lot of credit for is the score.
That's interesting to hear you say that, because when I was watching it with some people yesterday, we were saying, yeah, there's that one part where there's some music in it. I thought the music was lacking a little bit.
Did you? Maybe it's because a lot of the music I remember hearing in the video game, and I remember hearing in the movie. But I don't know. I thought the score just fit because there was a little bit of synthesizer and Moog. If anybody knows what a Moog is, it's another synthesizer type instrument. But yeah, I don't think the score gets enough credit, man. And people do recognize the score. It's done by a woman named Wendy Carlos. She also did music for like A Clockwork Orange and The Shining. And when you listen to the music, it just kind of fits it just seems to really fit that world of Tron. And that's near the end of the movie. You know, it's very, and when you hear it in the middle of the movie, it even fits better. I don't know, man. I'm glad they're still making movies because I think Tron's a great concept that can still use some tweaking. And I'm glad that Tron Ares is coming out because the last movie I didn't like too much.
No.
The only positive really about the last movie was that we basically got a new Daft Punk album out of it, which is that's probably why the music doesn't stand out that much to me. It's just because that's the only thing I care about with the second one is that soundtrack.
Anything I want to add though? Yes.
I thought that it was really admirable on Disney's part that when I found this movie available, it was really cleaned up and really nice looking, and it was still those original effects. Because when we said we were going to go do this, I was like, man, I really hope that the version I find isn't like George Lucasified or something like that, where like they redo the effects. So I appreciate that it's still like how it classically looked in 4K.
Yeah, they cleaned it up a lot, and
it looks fantastic.
It looks amazing. I saw a copy that. I almost thought they did go in and do some effects over because it was so clean and it looks when they clean it up and you watch it, it looks even more gorgeous, man.
Oh, where'd y'all see it all cleaned up and stuff?
Oh, Disney Plus.
Yeah. Oh, it's on Disney Plus.
Yeah. They have it in 4K.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to check that out. You know, one thing I mean, like, you know, to look at it, you go like, well, these are old computer effects, you know, very dated, but it is very unique. It doesn't look like anything else.
No.
And with the last Tron movie, and even what we saw with this one, they look cool, but they also look very slick and not so alien as this does.
That's what I was saying. They look like computer effects that we see today. No, and I'm not trying to criticize, you know, because I haven't even seen this movie that came out. The story might be so good that it might be fun.
Yeah, or they might be like, look, this is what we got to do. We got to move with the times.
But Tron still stands out as looking like nothing else. This looks like modern special effects that can be in anything.
Yeah.
You know, it's just really hard to duplicate that. And that's why Tron is, you can say anything you want to about the story, but this movie just cannot be replicated. And I mean that in the best way. I mean, as a compliment. I love the film. The story might not be that great, but it's kind of like, who cares, man? It's such a brilliant film, as you know, for the visuals and the work that went into getting that look. Some real genius work went behind this, man. Just some real innovative stuff going on.
And talking about the look, one thing that I really loved was noticing the color palette, how it was consistent from like the game world and to the real world. When you showed the laboratory, I love that because it's all these guys in blue helmets and there's like a giant red door in the back. I was like, there you go. Constant with the colors. I love that.
Yeah, no, that's a great point.
And they make a kaleidoscope and a flashlight go so far, the things that they do in here with that.
Do they? Really?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's like little effects where you can see like it's like superimposed kaleidoscope effects.
It's funny too, because you can see where they do things like matte paintings.
Yeah.
You can tell. Look at this. You can tell that that's where the painting starts. You can tell there's a small office room.
Oh,
they look at this.
Man, that is like it's like like some artwork that they just plastered on a flat wall.
But when the movie's in action, you don't really notice it because you're focused on the guy in the center of the screen.
I noticed because it looks fake, but you know, back then. And it's seamlessly put in there, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so I'll give him credit for that. But there's a part where, y'all play a little bit, you can see it actually move. Let me see here.
Like the fan behind it blowing.
Watch it move a little bit when he leaves the room. You see it jiggling a little bit? You see it moving?
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. You know, that's a painting put on top of a painting on glass put on top of that scene.
David Warner. That's
David Warner. That is his name. That's right.
Yeah. I was like, damn it, you know that name.
Somebody asked me what I would give this, and I don't know, man. It's hard to go back and rate retro reviews or certain retro reviews because they take they take a different context in history.
Yeah.
You know, at the time when I saw this, I would probably say it looks so amazing, but the story's not that great. So I would give it like a matinee. But man, it's such a movie that technically has withstood the test of time and has so much influence that I don't know, man. Maybe I would just give it a full price just for the cultural impact that it had. It enhanced my arcade going experience. It was, and you know, to be there and see this movie on the big screen, even though the story was kind of goofy, you know, you still hadn't seen anything like that before. I fell in love with the movie, didn't even realize, because I made fun of it when I got out of there. I was like, that was dumb, that was stupid, but I couldn't stay away from it.
Guy in a toga looks stupid. I love the costumes, by the way. I thought that was brilliant the way they walked him out in those like.
So did he.
He's not even wearing the toga.
Yeah, they did have togas and whatnot, man. You can say what you want to about the costumes. Say they look silly if you want, but they still are very original. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'll probably get a full price just because of how it has become such a piece of cinematic history. There's so much going for it that it did not. And this is one of those movies, I think it's a rare film that you have to kind of just disregard the story and just be like, all right, you know, it's 40 years later, we're still talking about this. So just from a historical standpoint, a cinematic historical standpoint, I give it a full price.
So I'd probably give it a low full price just because when I was watching, I was like, man, seeing this in theater would be pretty cool, I think.
I feel like there could be a direct sequel to this that's in that same world with that same aesthetic, that same look.
Yeah.
Just expanding on that story where they are.
I tell you, I wish they had not done a direct sequel. I wish they had done a reboot or a remake.
Okay.
Because in the remake, I think the whole thing of the characters looking like they're users for no explanation at all. I thought that was kind of ridiculous. I would have remade it to where the world inside the computer, the humans never even knew.
Oh yeah.
You know, they write programs, they do, you know, they set up certain functions, and they don't realize like there's this virtual world where all this stuff is happening. It's like the movie Ants, something, you know. There's this small little world that we just don't even pay attention to. That for them is, you know, there's all these adventurous things happening, but we never recognize it. So in these boxes, our computers and whatnot, we don't even realize the world that's in there. And I just would have left it at that, you know.
I think you guys nailed it though, because I was thinking about that. I was like, that's the problem with the newer ones is that the look doesn't match. And what would it have been if it would have looked like that?
Yeah. So somebody said I was wrong. The movie's not boring. It's just an opinion, man. It's
a little boring. I mean, at least from what I remember.
Well, I mean, listen, it's different for everybody. If you saw the movie and it was doing it for you, that's cool. I was bored in some parts, and I love this film. So, you know, I mean, I'm just telling you like it is. To me, I was bored in some parts, and that's me rewatching it. And I'm still loving the film, man. I still think it's great.
It becomes boring because there's basically a lot of wasted real estate where they start saying shit, and it's like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
Like, we gotta get to Sector 7. Sector 7.
Yeah, there's a lot of things not working for me in the movie, but I still give it its respect, man. And I actually love it for that. Like I said, it really did enhance a lot of my experiences when the movie came out. So yeah, it's a full price for me.
And it will continue to inspire films.
Yeah, it will. Well, would you look at that? You made it to the end of the video. That means you really like us. So just go ahead and press that like button and subscribe while you're at it. And check out our other channels, our social media like Instagram, TikTok, and our Patreon where we have new stuff coming up all the time. And we'll see you on the next video.